P is for pacers. Pacers. Are we pacing ourselves in our ministry? Are we pacing ourselves with our children? I think it's time to just P for pick things up a little bit and get ready for what is coming. It's the third great awakening on the horizon. And P is also for power outages. The Bible says in Exodus 20, verse 21, that the people remained at a distance while Moses approached the thick darkness where God was. So as early as the Exodus, we know that God dwells in darkness. God is in the darkness. It says in 1 Kings 8, 10 through 13, when the priests withdrew from the holy place, the cloud filled the temple of the Lord, and the priests could not perform their service because of the cloud, for the glory of the Lord filled his temple. Then Solomon said, "The Lord has said that he would dwell in a dark cloud. I have indeed built a magnificent temple for you, a place for you to dwell forever." But when God actually shows up, it's so dark they can't even perform their service. It's so thick they can't perform their service. The presence of God is just so thick and so dark and heavy, they can't even do church anymore. So God is in the darkness. Genesis 1, verse 2. Now the earth was formless and empty, and darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. So it all began with darkness. God hovers over the waters. He is in the darkness. Check this out. It says here in Exodus 14, 19 through 20, "Then the angel of God who had been traveling in front of Israel's army withdrew and went behind them. The pillar of cloud also moved from in front of them and stood behind them, coming between Egypt and Israel. Throughout the night, the cloud brought darkness to one side and light to the other. So neither went near each other all night long." God used a cloud to bring darkness to Egypt and light to Israel, so no one could mess with each other all night long. See, it wasn't like the movies where like millions of these people just marched up onto this sandy beach and Moses, the man of God with a beautiful beard and a handsome face and a chiseled jaw with, some nice burns, holds up this staff and, and the sea splits and all these little Hebrew children, start scurrying through the... No! An entire night went by, an entire evening went by with the entire army of Egypt just behind them. And if it wasn't for this cloud, they would have killed them all. So God is in the cloud, God is in the darkness, God is in cloudy darkness. So, you say, "Oh, you're so Old Testament, give me something new and fresh." Okay. I promise you, the message is not going to change. 1 John 1, verse 5. "This is the message we have heard from him and declare it to you. God is light. In him there is no darkness at all. God is in the darkness. There is no darkness in him. Get discernment, though it may cost you everything you have. If we claim to have fellowship with him and yet walk in the darkness, we lie and do not live out the truth. God is in the darkness. Don't walk in the darkness. God is light. There is no darkness in him." Do you discern this yet? I can tell you that there's power outages coming and that it's going to be a great thing for the church. But without discernment, you wouldn't know what that means. So, P is for pacers. Stop pacing yourself. Start getting ready. P is for power. Power's going to go out. Thus saith the Lord. I love you guys. And you got to see all 3 vids because it won't make sense if you don't see them in order. Early October was when I got the word for the first 333 video. Go watch it or you're just wasting your time.